Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel where all we do is inform and update you on all you need to know and do in order to successfully move abroad and start living that your dream life. And in today's video we'll be talking about the best type of contract to sign or accept if you're moving to the UK as a healthcare assistant or as a nurse, or if you're already in the UK, you are intending to work as a healthcare assistant, or you've gotten a job, or you've just been interviewed and you're about to sign your contract. You need to watch this video. There are actually three types of contract as far as healthcare shifts are concerned, and one of them is, I will actually be explaining them in the hours. Okay, so one of them, because you know in UK we earn per hour, you get paid per hour. All right, so the first type of contract is what we call 36 hours contract, which is basically you working for 3 days in a week. So that would be you working 3 days in 7 days. A shift will basically fall into 12-hour shift, which will be either 7 to 7 a.m., 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., or 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. But most times, two types of shift. One is what we call morning shift, and the second one is what we call the night shift. Shift will include you going to work by 8 p.m., finishing by 8 a.m. Or if you're working day, you will be required to resume work by 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. and finish by 8 p.m. or 7. One type of contract is what we call 48 hours contract, which is basically you working for 4 days in a week. Okay, so, and the third type of contract you might hear is what we call, I think is a mixture of both, where you work this week, you're working for 3 days in a week, and the next one you work for 4 days in a week. But the worst contract you can ever accept is actually the 48 hours contract, and unfortunately I'm actually a victim of that, and that was what prompted me to make these videos, to save future healthcare assistants or nurses coming to the UK to work, to save them from this kind of mistakes. Okay, I made that mistake. I accepted a 48-hour contract, which I basically work 4 days in every week for at least 3 years. So I'll be expected to work 4 days in every week for at least 3 years. It is really tough. So the best type of contract to sign or accept if you're coming to the UK as a healthcare assistant or as a nurse will actually be the 38 hours shift contract, which is basically you just working for 3 days in a week. Yeah, you have 4 whole days to yourself. You still get your sponsorship, you still get your COS, you still get your BRP, you still get your skilled worker visa. You still get everything. Those who work higher than you or more days don't have any urge over you. The same thing you have rights to is the same thing they have rights. Downside to having to work 3 days in a whole week is that actually, apart from having a whole 4 days to yourself, you actually get to earn a bit, just slightly lesser than those who work 4 days in a week. But hold on guys, that was actually what I thought. But let me tell you something you can do. You can actually work 3 days in a week with your sponsored company or organization, and then decide to register with an agency to work maybe extra 2 days or extra 3 days if you're a workaholic. You can also decide to work from home. Yes, you can work from home, just sitting at the comfort of your house and earning extra cash. Or even juicier, you can decide to practice your skills. Those who know how to make hair, beauticians, makeup artists, seam dressers, people who know how to bake, plumbers. Like, I have a video where I actually listed the top 10 skills I will advise anyone moving abroad to learn. Okay, so if you're someone who has one of those skills, you can actually start practicing them. Like, this is your own money. You don't have a shop, it's not a registered business. All the gain goes straight to your pocket, and it's not taxed money, right? Like, nobody's taxing you for it. If you make me up and I pay you, it's just me transferring money to your account. I don't think you need to be taxed on it and all that. So that money goes straight to you untaxed. Okay, because I imagine if you know how to make dresses, Do you know how much people charge to make African dresses over here? You can actually venture into that. Do you know how many dresses you can make within 4 days? And imagine how much they charge per dress they make for you. So it is something definitely worth it. Instead of you working 4 whole days in a week, using 1 day to recover, having just 2 days to yourself to meet up with your family, your kids, be involved in their lives, trying to catch up with them, knowing what is going on at school, how they have been faring. If you're someone who is married, your husband is still there or your wife is still there, who always reaching out to you, it's like you're caught up in a mouse maze, trying to meet up with all this. You can actually decide to even invest in yourself. If you don't have any skill, you can decide to use those 4 days to learn a skill. There are so many courses you can take online, so many things one can learn. Invest in yourself. That is the best gift you can give to yourself. Investing in yourself. You can take courses online, learn how to speak other languages of the world. Other languages, because you never know where you end up. I mean, people, like, I have worked in a customer care translators. We have people who translate. Like, if I am working here and someone from France calls, we have people who translate and they get paid higher. Like, it's not the same thing. They don't pay us the same thing. They get paid higher just speaking their mother language or a language they learned. You can decide to do that. I mean, there are so many things to do than just dedicating your whole 3 years or 5 years of your life into building someone's company. What happens to yours? And also, guys, at the end of the 3 years or the 5 years, when your contract ends or terminates, remember, the only experience that will be on your CV is actually care. Like, nothing else, just care. And even if you move on with your life or you go to apply for jobs elsewhere, I don't think you get paid higher for having 5 or 10 years experience in care. I don't think so. So it's the same thing. They'll pay a newbie, because you will still be trained. They might still train you, but I'm just telling you, it doesn't really make much of a difference. So instead of you just focusing your life or all your weeks or all your months or your whole 3 years or 5 years into this company, investing so much, doing overtime, because that is why the whole idea of all this, giving you 48 hours. Because think about it, imagine me going elsewhere to work for a day, and that's obviously affecting my tax code, because I have 2 employers now. Just for 12 hours or 20 hours, my tax code has to change. It's not worth it. It doesn't make sense to me. They give you 48 hours. When you think about going elsewhere to register with other people to work, what it does to your tax code, you will be forced to do overtime. And that's the whole idea behind the contract they gave you. So you'll be forced to do overtime. It's because you can do overtime there and earn higher, although you still get taxed for it because it's overtime, but it's still preferable than you going to have double or 2 employers. Your mental health is at risk, your health itself is at risk, your physical health, just your emotional health, because some days your days go very well, some days you have to excuse yourself so many times to the self. Just remind yourself of why you even started this. It's some days it's that bad. Like, you have to really reassure yourself, to comfort yourself and tell yourself it's okay, you can do this. All right, so just to reassure yourself, invest in yourself. This is yourself. This is you showing yourself love. Okay, guys, I work 4 days in a week. I earn £2,000 every month. All right, so at the end of tax, NI, pension, stuff like that, deduction and the rest, transport, what actually gets to me is £1,400, sometimes £1,300. Okay, guys, so let me ask you this question. Is it possible for me, a woman with needs, to spend £300 or £400 every month? Like energy bill, rent, food, transport, my personal needs, my broadband, is it really possible for me to spend just £400 every month and save £1,000? Food, transport to work, everything. I don't think that is possible. It is not possible, because I'm a woman and we have needs. I'm not even thinking about sending money home to my people or to my parents. I'm just still thinking about me. Like, Okay, so let's even assume it is possible for me to save £1,000 every month. So I get to make £12,000 every year. But if you get to register with an agency, let's assume you work for 3 days only. Remember, you are entitled to the same thing as this person working 4 days. The same sponsorship, the same visa, the same rights as a staff, everything. The only down part is that you get paid a bit lesser, which you can always, make up with working for other agencies, or, working for yourself, or investing in yourself, or even working from home or practicing your skills, which is even far more better, pays you higher than, working for someone. Agencies earn £17, some £18, even I'm just talking about care workers. Nurses earn more than staffs. I know agency nurses that earn £32, £40, and staff nurses earn £26, £25. Can you imagine? Just think about it. Okay, so it's something you can definitely just do. 3 days here, register with an agency, make your money, and move on. Like, no strings attached. We are all here to make money. So why work 4 days when you can actually work 3 days? Have more time to yourself, do what makes you happy, relax, glow. Have time for yourself, for your mental health, for your social health, for your family, for your kids. Why leave that type of contract that allows you time to practice your skills, bake for your children, cook, make money? Why leave that kind of contract and accept a contract that you're all shocked up? No time for your family, for yourself, nothing. Like, I've made this mistake, guys. I really wish I knew, or someone ever told me about this. I wish I could turn back the hands of time, but it's been signed and sealed. Okay, my fate is sealed. I don't want you guys to make this mistake. All right, mistakes, please don't make this mistake I made. And at the end of the day, guys, I am not telling you what to do. I am just suggesting or advising or telling you about my own regrets. It is still your life. It is still your choice. It is still your decision. So you decide what you want. A contract where you're choked up, not for your family, for your social life, no time for even God. Or a contract where you get the same thing, offer the same thing, the same right, and have more time to yourself, and even sometimes make more money. All right, guys, so I'll leave you to decide what you want for yourself, except you are someone who has officially accepted average living. You're someone who has given up on his or her dreams, or you're someone who has no dreams at all for his or her life, no plans, no dreams, no aspiration. Then you can go ahead and choose a 48 hours contract. As for me, I regret doing that, and I wish I could really turn back the hands of time. So guys, this is just me in my opinion. You learned 1 or 2 things. Like, subscribe, and share this to as many people as possible. Share with your friends. A lot of people don't know about this. People need to know. A lot of people need to watch this video. They need to know. So they won't say, had I known. Like I'm saying. Okay, guys, so see you in my next video, and don't forget to check the top 10 skills I will advise anyone moving abroad to learn before they move abroad. Let's stay smart, let's stay creative. See you in my next video. Bye.